Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Hello, happy Thursday po. As usual, it's Webes nga, and it's welcome, no, to our immigration corner. Now, bad news and good news, no. Bad news po, wala si Sir Sonny ngayon. May sakit siya. Nag-usap nga kami kanina, and unfortunately, he's bedridden, no. Ang sama nga ng ubo niya. So I'm a bit worried actually. Let's all wish him well nga. There's no Sir Sonny today. So you have me, and I hope you will continue nga to join me, you know. So no Sonny, but of course good news is we have our immigration corner nga ngayon, and malaking topic natin. And of course, another good news is we have, thank goodness, Direct Pau, no? She will continue nga to, of course, deal with questions, and of course, we'll deal with the topics. But anyway, it's happy Thursday. Kamusta po kayo? Anything good happened this week? Hopefully, no? For me, a highlight of my week, I saw Godfather 2, no? The 50th anniversary of the Godfather films nga, no? I saw Godfather 1, I saw 2 weeks ago na, no? Pinag-usapan natin. But yesterday, I saw Godfather 2 on actually in the cinema, which was it's brilliant. It's such a I love that film, no? I love all three films nga. So it was a treat to see it in the cinema, because I'd not seen it in the cinema before. So the only I think the next one is 2 weeks from now, or the third one guys, 2 weeks from now, and hopefully papanoodin ko nga din. Any favorite films from you, message me, no? And we can speak about it. The only other thing that happened this week nga sa akin is if you like cooking, especially mga jams, fruit purees. I had a go actually on Tuesday, no, I had a go. So I made some apple puree. And tell me if you've had this experience also. I'm sure a few of you have had this experience, no? Nagluto ka, tapos of course I allow it to just to stew, yeah. And the problem is, nakalimutan ko. I tell you, it was, by the time I remembered, it was like an hour later. And so, the apple is actually stuck to the pan. I was so lucky nga na hindi nasunog yung kusina ko. So, so if you're cooking now, no? Kayo, nanonood kayo ngayon, nagluto kayo, don't forget the pot. Want that to cause fire, huh? So I've had quite an eventful week, sadly, in relation to cooking. But as I see, the film Godfather, I so thoroughly. So, message us, no? Our favorite films. So Direct, meron ba tayong mga nangangamusta? And our viewers nga, our usual, hopefully. Of course, the lovely Mr. Fernandez Oliver. Good evening, Attorney Lira, Kuya Sonny, and Direct Pau. happy Thursday to each and everyone watching Immigration Corner. Happy Thursday po, Oliver. I will bet you, I mean, this man is so talented, I suspect that he cooks also very well. Sabi mo sa amin, no? What do you, hopefully you don't have mishaps as I do. And also tell us what your favorite film is, Oliver. I'm interested. Rachel Bautista po. Hello and good evening po, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lira, and sa lahat na nanonood. Hi, Rachel. Where are you calling from? Or where are you watching from, rather? Oh, so Sisa Tavisora. There, so magandang gabi po, Attorney Lira. Hi, Sisa. Like the picture. Anthony Rachel Barayol. Happy Thursday po, Attorney Lira, at sa lahat ng mga tagapanood ng Palatuntunan Immigration Corner. Wow! Hi, Anthony. Kamusta? Johnny Katuiza back. Magandang gabi, Attorney. Happy Knowledge. I love that. Happy Knowledge Evening to everyone. That's new. Salamat, Johnny, no? Happy Knowledge Evening, no? Kathleen Joyce there. So, happy Thursday po sa ating lahat and good evening, Attorney Lira. Hi, Kathleen. Saan ka galing? Tell us. Mary Rose. Hi, Mary Rose. Mary Rose Fronda. Good evening, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat po ng mga taga-subaybay na nanonood. Have a wonderful Thursday. Stay safe, everyone. Ikaw nga din, Mary Rose, no? We mustn't forget, of course, na COVID is still out there, so be careful. Oh, Ma'am Carsola, Cora Carsola. Hello, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lira, and all. Masaya and fruitful night to all. Hi, Ma'am Cora. Sorry, wala si Sonny nga ngayon. I know you I'm sure, like everyone else, you miss him, ano? So, no Sonny today. Miss Paner. Yeah. Marian Galicia Paner. Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday po and stay safe always. God bless us po. Tama ka, Miss Paneria. Ikaw nga din, ano? Ingat ka. Especially kung magbibiyahe nga kayo. Even though we're blessed now that hopefully nga, no, COVID is getting a bit better. Yeah, ingat pa rin kayo. Because you never know, daming bala rin yun. Good evening po, good evening po, Darmin. Are you well? Hopefully you are, no? Hopefully everyone is, no? Hello, Direct Paula. Sa Pinas at lahat. Tama ka. Anong oras na Pinas ngayon? So are they still 8 hours? Direct 8 hours ahead pa rin ba kayo sa atin sa Pinas? Oh gosh, madaling araw na nga yun, no, sa atin. So yes, hello to all in the Philippines, of course. Rafi Bautista, magandang gabi. Happy Dagdag Kaalaman Day sa inyong lahat. I do like that. Happy Dagdag Kaalaman Day sa inyong lahat. Tama po. Tama, Rafi. Hope you're well, no? Marian Galicia. How I like your tops, Attorney. Hope Kuya Sonny feel better soon. No, tama ka. I just, I don't think it's, hindi nga sinabi na COVID. I don't think it's COVID nga. But I heard him today and ang boses nga niya, it's nearly gone. And yung sabi niya sa akin, he's bedridden po man, no? He's probably going to be, I don't know, out of commission, I would imagine, until the weekend. So yeah, hopefully he feels better soon. It happens, no? Ingat, no? Jonah Guban. Hello po, magandang gabi, Attorney Lira, at sa lahat, stay safe po. Stay safe and God bless us po. Tama ka, Jonah. No, as I say, it's although COVID is hopefully nga, no, on the back foot nga, ingat pa rin tayo. I think Hong Kong and China have a massive increase, it seems, at the moment of cases nga. Dito sa UK, it's not so bad, it seems, at the moment, but of course it doesn't mean, no, that it won't affect you and affect you badly. So ingat pa rin tayo. So especially if you're vulnerable, don't forget masks, no, and if you're going to places like like me, no, sa cinema, if it may be an idea still to see about wearing a mask, no. Galing po kay Do you say Hofer or Joffer? Pogi, Kakabelos, no? A lovely Thursday to Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy dagdag kaalaman to everyone. So how do you say that? Is it Joffer or Hofer ang pronunciation? So it's, it's, hopefully Sonny will be back soon na nga yun. It's Grace Sanchez. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, Grace Sanchez. Good evening, everyone. I'm watching from Lisbon, of course, Portugal. Yeah. How are you, Miss Sanchez? It's hopefully not too bad nga in weather-wise in Lisbon. Dito it's sunny, you know. So hopefully it continues with the spring weather. Ma'am Cora, tama ka with your greetings, no? Get well, Sir Sonny. God will take care of you. Your dear soul and all of us. Tama ka, Ma'am Cora. So we miss him, no? And we wish him well, of course. And I'm sure he'll be fine, nga, but hopefully, you know, by the end of the week. But today he just sounded so bad. I could barely understand him. He couldn't really get him. He couldn't really speak very well. So hopefully he gets a lot of. I'm sure he will get lots of cuddles, nga, no, from Saul and hopefully some chicken soup, chicken soup na. So galing po to kay Salim Katuisa. Hello to all, maganda, masaya, and another informative educational night with Attorney Lira. Salamat, Salim. Yeah, it's hopefully, I mean, actually we have a big topic now today. It is probably quite important nga to a good few people, no? So ito po, no, challenging home office refusals ang topic natin. So malaking topic natin. So we're going to go through nga yung the different methods to deal with, no. So it's tune in, absolutely. So Paula said, yes, attorney, 8 hours ahead time check. Oh my gosh, 4 a.m. madaling araw sa atin nga. And it just shows you nga, no, si Pao, dedication nga niya, no. It's 4 o'clock sa atin, gising na gising pa siya, and of course she's with us. So thank you, Pao, no. Galing po to kay Nora Tabo. Good evening, Attorney Lira, and happy Thursday to all. Good evening, Nora. Where are you watching from? Sabihin mo sa amin. Emmeline Rafael. Miss Rafael, good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday to all and direct Pao. Hopefully you're okay, no, Miss Rafael? I mean, you have your caps, so you must be feeling good. Yeah, tama ka, Miss Rafael. Get well soon, Sonny, and keep safe. Yeah, no, we wish him well. Hope you're well, Miss Rafael. Are you still traveling about, no? And if you are, be careful, ha. Ingat tayong lahat. Tama ka. It's a bit it's good to travel to get back to some kind of normality, and of course Easter time soon, and of course summertime also. So if you're looking to travel, by all means, keep safe nga. Actually, some of the points we're going to be dealing with nga today is to do with traveling. So also tune in, no? So look, yung nga malaking topic nga natin ngayon. It is to do with challenging a home office refusal. So tune in for those. Oliver, hi Oliver. Unfortunately po, I only know how to press buttons. The microwave. I am, however, blessed with a wife who is amazing at the kitchen. Oh, Oliver, I am so jealous. No, it's I must admit, I am trying a little bit more. No, people put me to shame. No, tayong mga Pinoy, we're known, I think, for being good cooks, huh? And oftentimes I'm asked, what paborito ko, what can I cook quite well, and I must admit, I can't, I really can't say that I can cook anything well, but I do try, and this week, as I've said, I tried nga, puree nga lang naman, so so some apples nga, a little bit of sugar, tapos cinnamon, and all I had to do was really I put it through the food processor, so I didn't even chop it up, and I put it in the pan. Yung nga lang, nakalimutan ko, no? So it's I'm sure the Mrs. Oliver would never make such a horrible mistake. So I actually now have a useless pot which I need to throw away. Dahil nakadikit nga yung the apple puree. It's just it is layering the pot. So unfortunately, so I think I may even give up on that and just go back to my normal buying the jam. So tell me if you've had any kitchen mishaps, no? Nico Guban, good evening po, Attorney Lira. Hi, Nico. Where are you watching us from? Where are you joining us from, Nico? Tignan mo. The lovely Librojo clan, Rudy Librojo. Happy Thursday po. Lovely and elegant Attorney Lira, and always good looking. I think he still is, even when he's sick, you know. Good-looking guys, Sir Sonny and Sir Edgar, and the lovely Direct Paula, and all viewers, Team Librojo, and of course, Mia is the very talented part of the Librojo clan, so you should check out her music. Hi, I'm Rosemary Guban, no? Another Thursday, another Dagdag Kaalaman Day. Tama ka. And hopefully it would be an interesting topic for all of you. It is a big topic. It's to do with challenging home office appeals. It's just it put me in mind to discuss it. That today, apart from this week, apart from nearly burning down my kitchen and also ruining a perfectly good pot, and of course, I watched the part 2 of Godfather. No, apart from those, I've been really busy with hearings. It's been a little bit manic, actually. No, so I've had hearings nearly every day this week, and actually part of last week. Nga. So I thought let's discuss continuing with the issue of hearings, discussing how to challenge home office appeals. It is important, the process, that the process, and also and I'll be giving also tips to things to watch out for and of course the practical things. So magkano ang kailangan yung gawin. So it's quite a big topic Manuelin Fabro Walikan, no? A great Thursday evening to everyone. Hello, Attorney Lira. Stay safe always. Ikaw nga din, Manuelin, it's tama ka, no? It's let us all stay safe. Let's now make sure that we are you have your mask if you need still a mask and wash your hands, no? Now, for the moment we'll go to commercial break briefly, but don't go away. Come back and please join us.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O, ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Hello. Sorry, you saw me there probably rocking to the music, ano? Happy Thursday po. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Unfortunately, wala si Sonny nga ngayon. May sakit siya. Nag-usap kami kanina. He sounds so bad. I could barely understand him. I could barely speak, the poor man. So sabi nga niya sa akin, he's been bedridden actually for a couple of days now, it seems. And probably through the weekend. So Sonny, kung nanonood ka, get well. Best wishes from all of us. So I will try, and I'm sure will fail, to fill your very big shoes, no? And keep everyone hopefully entertained with, of course, the very talented and invaluable Direct Paula helping us tonight. So happy Thursday to everyone po. We do have a big topic nga ngayon. And it's to do with challenging home office refusals. But as usual, no, kung meron kayong pong mga question, or you want to just know relay nga no experience that you have had nga with immigration, message us, no, tanong nyo, ask us anything, no, and we'll try and of course deal with it as best we can. And hopefully the other viewers will also be able to join in, no? So yon. Anyway, so shall we see about proceeding with our topic? It's a rather big topic. Yung nga po, challenging home office refusals, no? Now, let's launch into that, no? Direct. So. There are three main methods of challenging, if you like, no, a home office refusal. So, and let's deal with all of those. So there's just to give you an overview. There's something called administrative review. There's the appeal, of course, which I'm sure is known to most people. And there's something called judicial review, which again, it may be known to quite a few people, but it is quite a heavy topic, no? And at times it can be quite confusing yung process nga. So let's go through all of those, which may be applicable to you. So unang-una po, yung administrative review. That may be quite a new thing for some, no? I mean, it's been around for a little while, but administrative review basically will potentially come about. So kung meron kayong refusal nga, so unang-una meron kayong refusal. You've had a refusal, can you administratively review it? Is that the right way to do it? No. So administrative review usually comes about kung ang application na na-refuse is to do with, say, the points-based system. No. So to do with the work route of immigration. So now, if you have the right to administratively review a decision, usually you need to do that within 14 days. Yung nga po, no? Salamat Pao. So yun. So 14 days. So this is what it looks like, yeah? This is contained usually within the decision. So makikita nyo nga dyan, no? So so it would say there, you can apply for administrative review if you think the decision maker made an error or did not follow the published guidance, or where you have new information or evidence in support of your application. Now, in this case, itong kliyente ito, she had 28 days, 28 calendar days, not working days, but calendar days from the date that she received the decision. But usually, as you can see there, 14 days kung nandito kayo sa United Kingdom. So only 14 calendar days. So you don't, that includes for the weekend. So the process would be, you do that online, no? So you can submit your administrative review application online. There's a fee of £80, okay, for that type of application. If you are abroad, so sabihin natin nagpasok yung application under the points-based system, no, skilled worker route nga, and that was then refused, then you may have then and nasa Pinas kayo, sabihin natin, then you may well have 28 calendar days to apply for administrative review. Pagka pinasok nyo yan, you should then also pay the sum of 80 pounds nga, and you should get an acknowledgement that your application for administrative review is there. Now, beware po. Administrative review is not the same as an appeal, no? So basically, ang mangyayari, you apply, in fact, to the Home Office. So if the Home Office makes a mistake, you ask the Home Office to review their decision. But you are making an application mismo sa Home Office nga din. My experience is it's very rare that they change their minds on administrative review. And also, ang titingnan nga lang nila ay yung procedure. Did they maybe forget to look at the document, for example, o kaya they miscalculated nga something, no? So you can certainly point out in your reasons why it is that you think they have made a mistake in the process, pero process nga lang, no? So if your application includes, say, anything to do with Article 8, by that I mean your family, private life nga, that's not going to be part of the administrative review process. Ang titingnan nga lang nila nagkamali ba sila, no? When they looked at your documents, nagkamali ba sila? Kung nagkamali sila, then that means that they may well change their decision, but it is administrative review. Now, separately from that, and completely separate from administrative review, and usually you don't have, if you don't have a right of appeal, you can potentially administrative review, but where some applications, administrative review would not even apply. It would then be an appeal. So, sabihin natin nagpasok nga kayo ng application, tapos as say on the family life issue, no? Nandito kayo, sabihin natin wala na kayong visa, nagpasok nga kayong application dahil yung asawa nyo o yung partner nyo na nandito Briton, sabihin natin, o may settlement status, pero yung application nyo na-refuse, no? Kung na-refuse yung application nyo, tapos you want to challenge, anong pwedeng mangyari? Anong pwedeng yung gawin? Administrative review in this case is not really the route. In that case, it could be that you have a right of appeal, no? Now, the right of appeal you have to exercise nga within 14 days usually in the United Kingdom, or 28 days if you're outside the United Kingdom. But if you're making an application in country, nandito nga kayo, and you have and the application is on the basis of your relationship nga, then this, of course, the 14 days is what's applicable. Kung magpasok yung appeal, again, you can do that. You should do that online, and you have to pay the sum of 140 pounds. Now, yung unang-unang kailangan yung gawin, the first process for the appeal is not actually so bad, no? It doesn't require too much information apart from, of course, your name, and no reason for the what are you appealing against nga. But you don't immediately need to also submit nga yung grounds, and the grounds is really often what makes it nga complicated. So you usually wait for the Home Office to submit to the court nga their bundle for the hearing, and then pagka nasa inyo na yon, then you make you can prepare, or should prepare, and are required to submit your grounds for appeal. Now, that's not even so bad as far as process goes. No, lots of things nga you need to do, of course, such as making sure nga your statements and all of those are done and submitted properly. But it becomes more problematic, no, if you don't have a right of appeal, no. So if you don't have a right of appeal, what do you do? And how do you know that you don't have a right of appeal? So tingnan natin pakita mo nga document 2, no? So this is a template letter. Ito po. So this is a template letter. This one normally what you would get if you don't have a right of appeal, a right of in-country appeal, I should say. So makikita nyo dyan, and all the letters actually look the same, no? Itong umpisa. So if you get this kind of letter, makikita nyo, dear whoever, no? So nandiyan, your application and human rights claim on whatever the date is refused. So yung unang sasabihin nila, no? Ano bang nangyari? It's been refused. What this means for you, no? So you can see that in the red box nga. So there, this is a letter that means wala kayong right of appeal in country, and that is under this thing called Section 94. No, so it's what oftentimes solicitors call certification. No, so it means that you can appeal, for example, but from outside the United Kingdom. But if you are in the UK and you don't want to leave the United Kingdom nga to challenge, then this, of course, is a problem. So, pagka nakuha nyo yung sulat, it will be fairly clear there at the beginning if you don't have a right of appeal. Now, if you can show us now the second document, the document 3, please, Paul. No? So, ito makukuha nyo. Pagka nakuha nyo yung sulat nga, saying you have no right of appeal, kasama doon, ito, it's the letter reasons for refusal. No? So this is usually the first part of the Home Office refusal letter. So yung sulat nga nila to say you have no right of appeal and this you being refused. This normally accompanies that letter also. Makikita niyo diyan. So it would say on kung ano mang pecha nagpasok yung application, you made a human rights claim, and then you will see there that application has been considered, it's been refused, and that they don't believe that you have maybe family life. So this is the reason for refusal. So mahaba nga to. Usually you'll go on about anong tinignan nga nila, anong immigration history nyo. Usually it's about 3 or 4 pages nga, and it should say there ano bang dahilan, bakit nga kayo na refuse. Now ito po, tip for this, no, and it's this. Kung pagka na-refuse nga kayo, no? I know that of course it's a terrible thing. Tapos a lot of people nga panic and then they submit appeals nga without considering perhaps the refusal properly. So do not do that without looking at the refusal. Especially pagka magpapasok na kayo ng grounds nyo, which doesn't have to happen nga immediately. So you have a little bit of time to look at it, to consider it nga. Tignan nyo maigi, ano bang dahilan, no? Pagka refusals it doesn't mean na tama nga yung Home Office, and certainly my experience is a lot of the times they're wrong in their decision. And that's why they get appealed, and oftentimes they get appealed a lot, no? So, tingnan yung maigi, basahin yung maigi yung sulat nga nila, no? Don't skip anything. So makikita nyo nga doon if there are children involved, tinignan nga nila, if they think that your relationship, they don't believe that the relationship is genuine, ano bang tinignan nga nila, no? Are there things that perhaps they should have considered na not. Now that all becomes important when you prepare and submit nga your grounds of appeal, essentially, no? So sasabihin nyo nga doon, ano bang dahilan na why are you appealing? Why do you say na kamali nga yung Home Office, no? But do read their letter of refusal, no? Don't just put it aside and assume. And sometimes, and I get this actually a lot from some clients, unfortunately, they assume na tama nga yung Home Office. Do not make that assumption because they are not infallible, no? Yung Home Office nga. You should check it and check it again. But importante nga din po, you must keep that document, ha? And if you have solicitors or you instruct solicitors, kailangan nila yon, no? Kailangan namin makita. Well, it's one of the most important documents when you're preparing an appeal. And in fact, you can't submit your appeal without that, no? So, you should make sure nga na itago nyo. And if it's been emailed to you, again, make sure that you keep that email, no? So, you can, of course, challenge, second way of challenging a refusal is by way of a right of appeal. The good thing about a right of appeal is you can then you would then go to court. No, you would get, so a judge will hear it, an independent person, an independent judge will hear it, and will then make a decision on whether or not the Home Office was right or not to refuse now the appeal. But as I've said, that is all, of course, assuming that you have an in-country right of appeal. And with a lot of cases, of course, you don't want to leave the United Kingdom kung nandito nga ang pamilya nyo. And so this is when it becomes a problem. So you can see here, if there's no right of appeal, mahaba nga yung sulat makukuha nyo, and this is usually at the end of the letter. So makikita nyo doon, so it says here, in addition to human rights claim, the 2002 Act applies. This requires the Secretary of State to certify that the claim is clearly unfounded. Makikita nyo dyan, no? Unless they're satisfied it's not clearly unfounded. So ibig sabihin, that clause, which doesn't make an awful lot of sense often, means that you have no in-country right of appeal. So ibig sabihin, kailangan yung umuwi sa atin to exercise the appeal, which may not be what you want to do dahil nandito nga ang pamilya. No? So if that's the case, sabihin natin wala kayong right of appeal, what do you then do? No? Now, for goodness sake, payo ko po, don't just give up. No, don't just say, okay, wala akong right of appeal, babalik na nga lang ko. Don't do that. No, look at the next possible step, but you must take legal advice. No, because then the third method of challenging is quite complex. It is from all angles, also process and also, of course, the legal aspect nga din, no? So you should take advice whether this is the right thing to do, no? So the third method of challenging a Home Office refusal will be by way of judicial review. Now, judicial review is not, as I say, it's not an easy process. So ito pong unang-una na kailangan, no? So when the starting point, unless it's an urgent matter, is what's called a pre-action protocol letter. So basically a letter before action that is sent to the Home Office. Now, yun po manggagaling sa inyo, and this is the reply, the standard reply that they usually send back yung Home Office. So, pagka nagpasok na kayo, padala na kayo ng pre-action protocol letter nyo, ito makukuha nyo. And the format is the same for all, no? So, lalagay nga dito, the claimant, ikaw, no? Kayo, from the Secretary of State for the Home Department, ibig sabihin, of course, sila nga, anong references, and then they will say there, as you can see here, yung immigration history, as they understand it. Now, again, beware, basahin yung maigi, because it could be, and I certainly have seen this in the past, no, nagkamali nga sila. So they say there, anong petsa, anong nangyari, and then you'll see, and I've left it in there, so they say here, the SSHD, those are the Secretary for the Home Department, basically, Secretary of State for the Home Department, that means SSHD, refused to grant your client leave to remain and certify the claim under Section 94 of the Nationality, Immigration and Asylum Act 2002, out of country right of appeal. So itong sulat na ito, basically, it's the first letter to the Home, it's the reply to the first letter to the Home Office to say, well, look, because you didn't give us a right of appeal, we want to judicially review the case. So where it says details of the matter being challenged, it normally that would have said your refusal to give the person the right of appeal. So basically, kung wala kayong right of appeal and you want to challenge that the absence or the failure to give you a right of appeal, this is the next step, itong judicial review. No? So again, there you're not challenging the decision directly, but it's the process that they followed in reaching that decision. So it's not the substantive decision, no, not the decision of whether or not it was right that kayong family life in the UK, whether your Article 8, family life, private life has been engaged. Hindi yun. It is whether or not the Home Office was right not to give you a right of appeal. Ito pong judicial review process, no? Now, and as I've said, it always starts nga, or it should usually start with a letter from you or from your solicitor saying why it is that the Home Office should change their minds. No? So basically, it's you saying, look, nagkamali kayo. Before issuing proceedings, tignan nyo uli, and when you look at it, you will see nagkamali nga kayo, so you need to change your mind. Now, they can, of course, change their mind or not change their mind. If they change their mind and they say, okay, we're still maintaining the decision, so the refusal is still there, but we will give you a right of appeal, then they will issue a new decision. So sasabihin doon, okay, you have the right of appeal, we're refusing it, but you have a right of appeal now. And then you start over again. So that means you have 14 days, huwag niyo kalimutan, 14 days nga lang po, it's not a long time, 14 days then to submit your online appeal. Now, if they don't change their mind, they maintain their decision that you don't have a right of appeal, you can potentially still challenge that by actually making an application to the court nga for judicial review. But as I say, there are many, unfortunately, processes in legal processes that I would say to you are quite complex, and this is certainly one of them. No, and so before mounting a judicial review challenge, importante po, you should definitely take legal advice, because if this is where a lot of things can go wrong. And of course, if you're looking at your immigration, it's the question of your family in the UK, your family life in the UK, your liberty also, not just in case nga you're detained. So it's important that you do things nga properly and you seek proper and full legal advice. So essentially, if you get a refusal, which is of course unfortunate to say the least, don't give up. No. Tignan nyo maiging refusal and then seek advice. No? Are you looking at one of the three possibilities? So, administrative review, no? Or is it an appeal? Okay, if you have a right of appeal, or if you don't have a right of appeal, should you then judicially review the absence of the right of appeal? So there are ways of challenging the Home Office's decision. So if you're unfortunate and you had you received a refusal nga recently, either abroad or nga dito, don't give up, don't be disheartened, no? Tignan nyo nga maigi and seek advice. And certainly from experience, it is the Home Office is by far not infallible, and sometimes they do. Well, actually, in my experience, often they do get things wrong. You know? And when they do, you should challenge them, and you may find that you actually win your right of appeal, or you succeed with your judicial review, or indeed your administrative review. Of all those three processes, the least favorite, if you like, of mine is the administrative review. The problem with administrative review is the Home Office challenging their own decision, no? And that can be a bit tricky sometimes. But it's not, again, it's hindi po yung imposible, no? But the tip really is the refusal letter, no? Basahin yung maigi and take advice. What would be the better route if you have a choice, no? Certainly, administrative review can be cheaper, no? But appeals are likely to be more effective. Judicial review, if you have no choice, you have no right of appeal, or maybe the appeal rights have been exhausted. But the takeaway from this is don't give up, no? Look at your refusal nga and take advice, and hopefully you will be able to challenge and successfully challenge. So it's it can be complex, but look, seek advice. Yeah, it's I've had certainly many cases whereby my clients thought wala nang pag-asa, but it's if you seek advice, it could be that you successfully challenge. So hopefully those of you who've been served now with refusal letters recently, don't panic. Read it through properly, and then, as I say, seek advice, and hopefully, you'll get it in the end. No? So now, okay, direct. So meron ba tayong look? Any questions po on the topic that we just discussed nga ngayon? Message us, and hopefully, and happy to, of course, deal with it. If you want me to elaborate also on any of the points, again, please nga let me know. But in the meantime, I think we have a few interesting questions, Derek, no? So shall we make shall we have a look? Okay. Galing po to kay Iliana B. Now, magandang gabi po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Itatanong ko lang po, sana kung sino po ba dapat mag-sponsor ng dependent visa ng anak ko sa pagkadalaga. So, pwede po ba yung asawa ko, stepdad ng anak ko, o ako mismo po ang dapat na mother niya? Mas nauna po ako dito ng 2 years sa kanya as spouse visa. Pwede po bang mag-sponsor kahit under ako ng spouse visa? About naman po sa financial, kakalipat ko lang ng ibang care home, and I'm on 44 hours a week. 44 hours a week, and it's quite more than full time, permanent contract as a care assistant. Nalilito po kasi ako sa application ng dependent visa. Salamat po sa inyo. Okay, Iliana, great question. Now, ito po. Unang-una, of course, you can sponsor, as a spouse. So, it's just a little bit more complex. So, una kong question is, I'm assuming yung anak mo is under 18, yeah? So let's if under 18, absolutely you can sponsor. In fact, it's really more a kind of joint sponsor nga. So the sponsor would be you, dahil ikaw nga ang nanay nga. Now, the only thing to watch out for is this. Dahil spouse visa ka nga dito, you still need to satisfy the income requirement, pero mas mataas kung kukunin mo siya. So basically, 18,600 ang pinakita ng asawa mo nung pumasok ka nga dito. Now, kailangan mong dagdagan yun ng 3,800 because that's for the first child. So yung income nyo nga, it should be, joint income nyo, it should be no less than, what was that, 22,400 ata, no? So, I'm sure if you're doing 44 hours nga full-time, and yung may trabaho nga din asawa mo, that you probably satisfy that without any problem. So, kung under 18 siya, byuda ka na siguro, kasi it's potentially nga dito sa atin, and then of course here you've remarried nga. Meron kayong accommodation, natitirhan nga niya, and as I've said, yung income nyo nga, it's sapat nga, and you can show that you and your husband in the UK are continuing with your relationship, then absolutely you can make an application nga, yung nga dependent mo siya dito, no? So the main applicant really would be it would be essentially a dependent visa application, but hindi po yung problema because of course she is a stepchild, no? So the application then is submitted with the income nga. Yung nga lang, pagka pumasok nga siya dito, ang bisang bibigay sa kanya, magkatugma sa'yo. You will have to tally. No? So kung matatapos ng visa mo, sabihin natin 6 months na nga lang natitira, she will only also just get a visa for say 6 months. So pagka nandito na po siya, and then she wants to make an application for extension, di kasama mo siya. So, your visas, your 2 visas will tally. That she essentially becomes also a dependent of your husband. So absolutely, you can make an application. The only thing to be aware of, Iliana, is definitely she must be under 18 yung anak mo. So sabi mo nga sa amin, actually, if she's under 18, kung under 18, hindi po problema. And as far as income goes, I'm sure kayang-kaya mo yung 22,400 because if you're working 44 hours per week and your husband is also working, hindi nga yung, I'm sure you will satisfy the 22,400. She doesn't, kung under 18 siya, she doesn't need to do the English language like as you did yung A1 mo nung pumasok nga dito. Pero the other requirements still remain. That is yung accommodation, financial support, existing relationship. And of course, kailangan mo pakita nga din that she is indeed your child. So, get her birth certificate. So you can, absolutely, Ilyana, and you should. And kung mag-18 na yung bata, gawin mo na, do not delay. Because as soon as the child is 18, hindi mo na siya pwedeng kunin nga dito as a dependent unless there are issues nga medically, for example. But otherwise, you will have massive problems under the adult dependent route. So kunin mo siya. Dalian mo, no, if she's going to be 18 soon. But yes, no, by all means, you should and you can. Pangalawa pong question natin, galing kay May Richelle. Oh, love the name, May Richelle. Good day, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Tatanong ko lang po sana kung ano po yung tamang visa na dapat i-apply ko after 2.5 years as a spouse visa. We got married year 2020 and I got my visa in year 2020 as well. Mag-a-apply po kasi ako for another 2.5 years pero naguguluhan po ako kung alin ang tamang visa na dapat i-applyan ko. Salamat po for the advice. Okay, May. Now, ito po. Nung pumasok ka dito, spouse visa ka, no? And that's fine. So, 2.5 years nga binigay sa'yo, which is the usual thing. Now, ang kailangan mong pasok na application this time around is again another extension of your spouse visa. So extension but only for 2.5 years uli. Hindi pa po indefinite, no? Because you're not yet entitled. To get indefinite, you need to have completed nearly 5 years, no? Or 5 years leave to remain as a spouse in the United Kingdom. So, definitely extension nga lang po muna. The form that you need to complete is called an FLRM, no? Not the SETM, but the FLRM. Ibig sabihin, extension for another 2.5 years. The fee you need to pay is the usual, for the home office fee po is £1,052.20p, no? Plus IHS surcharge, which at the moment stands, because that you're looking at 2.5 years, total of £1,560. So nearly 2,600 for the home office fee. That is the home office fee and also the IHS. Pero FLRM po ang kailangan mo. It's the usual thing, ha, May? Kailangan pakita income, ha, pa rin. So, your joint income, kung wala kang kasamang bata nga dito, is the 18,600. Accommodation, importante nga din. Continued relationship, of course, in the United Kingdom, no? Amongst other things. So, but yeah, so the answer is, ang kailangan mo po, extension nga lang as a spouse, and the form is, it's called FLRM. So, now, any other questions po, Direk? Kung meron pa. Oh, okay. Abigail Minan. Okay. So, sabi po niya, hello, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. I'm having a lot of hassle trying to find out if I need a visa for my 18-month-old baby who was born in the United Kingdom and has a British passport. I'm a Filipina, married to a British citizen for 3 years, and we're about to visit Manila for longer than 50 days. Over the 30 free travel days allowed without a visa. My question is, will an 18-month-old baby need a visa to stay over 30 days in the Philippines? I was advised to get her a Filipino passport, and then she won't need a visa, and then she can stay longer, over 50 days with me in Philippines. Thank you for the time on this question. Abigail, actually, I'm glad you answered this question. No, It's not strictly, UK immigration law, but I have the answer, in fact. So ito po. I've actually looked into this quite a bit because I was intrigued nga by the question. And it is, I'm not surprised na naguguluhan ka nga because the answer is actually not easy to find. But the good news is I found absolutely, I think, at least, the answer, and it is this. Now, you can, of course, apply for the for Filipino passport for your daughter. And the good thing is, of course, then dual nga siya, no? And kung kailangan gusto mong iuwi nga siya anytime, you don't have an issue because, of course, you will have a Filipino passport. And it's absolutely not a bad thing to have dual citizenship, no? Filipino and British nga. Because both Philippines and the UK allow dual citizenship. But if for whatever reason you don't want to do that or you can't do that nga, the route that may be available to you is, in fact, what's called the Balikbayan program. Now, Balikbayan, of course, you assume, and frankly, so did I at one point, nga, assume that it's not for Filipinos who then became British or became Irish and no longer hold a Filipino passport. But that's wrong. Now, the Balikbayan program, let me just read to you a little bit about the Balikbayan program nga, no? So, they basically said the following categories of persons can avail of the Balikbayan privilege. And the first one actually says is a Filipino citizen who has been continuously out of the Philippines for a period of at least 1 year from the date of the last departure. Now, kung 18 months nga lang yung bata, I suspect that you've been here, or that time you've been here 18 months. You don't, even though you hold still a Filipino passport, you are, strictly speaking, regarded or can be regarded as a balikbayan, no? And that was actually, the Balikbayan program was introduced for back in 1989, really to encourage, attract, overseas Filipinos to go and visit the Philippines, which is a great thing to do. But yeah, as I say, you would satisfy the Balikbayan program. Now, in answer to your question, it's this. Now, and again, this is actually direct from the Philippine embassy website, in fact, in the US, no? So the Balikbayan privilege is extendable, so sabi dito, to legitimate members of the family, i.e. spouse and children of individuals in the above named categories, no? Who are holders of foreign passports, only if they are traveling to the Philippines together with the qualified individual. So, in your case, no, Abigail, kung kasama ka nga niya, well, she's only a baby, I can't imagine that she would travel on her own, no? Of course, kasama ka nga niya, no? So, kung kasama mo siya, then she would be considered, of course, as your family member traveling now with you, which means that the Balikbayan program, the 1 year free visa, I should have started actually with that, would also extend to her. So not only are you under that program would she be entitled to stay for longer than 50 days, she would actually under that program be allowed to stay for 1 year. And the 1 year is it's not a total of stays in the UK. So it's not in the Philippines. So it's not that they tally it up, no? Kung labas ng sobra ng isang taon, then you can't use it anymore. No, it's 1 year every time you return, and that actually is also noted on by the website. It's actually they quote at the time the Commissioner of Immigration. So Miss Andrea Domingo. So sabi nga niya dito dati, that was back in 2001, so obviously a little while ago. But the dicta was, all immigration officers at authorized ports of entry shall grant the benefits and privileges to all Balikbayan and former Filipinos included every time they enter the country to visit, regardless of their frequent travel. So every time papasok ka nga sa Pinas, you can avail yourself of the 1 year free visa, and that extends to your daughter, and in fact to your husband, no? But as I say, look, if you're looking at the possibility nga, kung hindi naman kayo magbibiyahing immediately, if you're looking at the possibility or considering the possibility of getting a Filipino passport for your daughter, I think it's a good idea. No, I think it's important to do that. No, because it's Filipino passport is still is also a very good thing to have, and why not? Why not be dual? Huh? You should. So now, so ito po. So it's I hope that answers those questions. Meron pa ba tayong mga questions, direct? Some lovely comments. Hi, need advice on something, please. So galing po to kay Celine G. Okay, I'm a Filipino living in Belfast, Northern Ireland, under UK, of course, and need to fly out to Dublin for a business trip. I currently hold a spouse visa, further leave to remain. May I know if I can fly out of Dublin with my BRP and no need for an Irish passport? So let's just look at this again. I need to fly out to Dublin for a business trip. I currently hold a spouse UK visa, further leave to remain. May I know if I can fly out of Dublin with my BRP and no need for Irish passport? Now, no, that's not quite as easy, Celine, no? Because of course they are different jurisdictions. Now, actually, I looked into this because I think you asked this question 1 or 2 weeks back, and in fact, I have Celine, do this for me, no? Can you email me your email? Because I actually have the link that answers your question. It's just nakalimutan ko sabihin last week. So it's actually not quite a straightforward. So email me, and I will email you the link, because it takes you through what you need to do with exactly the same situation that you have. So email me. So ang email ko, papakita natin mamaya, no? So email me and I'll send you the link. If you can email it to me tomorrow, so hindi ko makalimutan, even tonight actually, and then I will email you the link, because you kindly asked this question 2 weeks ago and I looked into it. So I have the answer, but it's probably best if I just email that to you, because it's just it's not quite as straightforward as we may think, but it's actually fairly clear from the email, the process. So Celine, email me. Okay, so another question po, galing kay Rada L. Good evening, I want to go to the Philippines for 2 weeks in April. Oh, that's good. And I would like to know if I need a visa to travel to the Philippines. Thanks, and always stay safe. Rada, kung if you're holding, I assume you're not holding a Philippine passport. So what passport do you hold? Most people, most nationals actually would not require a visa to go to the Philippines for holiday, visit visa nga lang, a visit visa only. If you're staying for less than 30 days, that's the usual thing. So I'm assuming that you're not a Filipino passport holder, but of course, if you are a Filipino passport holder, then of course it's not an issue. But otherwise, normally 30 days free visa. So you said here you're going only for 2 weeks. You don't need a visa usually. Depends. There are some countries that would require a visa, but if you're a British passport holder, you do not. So anyway, so I hope that I dealt with all your questions clearly nga. But if I have not and you want further elaboration, more than happy, of course, to do so. That email me, my email, my contact details will flash later on. But yeah, so it's I hope that was enjoyable. I certainly enjoyed the questions, especially. So okay, mga comments po na. Rudy Libroho. Salamat po. Oh, I love this man. Beautiful attorney from Attorney Lira from Mia. Please check her YouTube account, Mia Libroho. Mabuhay ang Pinoy. No, I tell you what. Yeah, you should. No, check out her account. This girl is talented. She really is. Voice of an angel. Probably takes after her father. Okay. So galing po to kay Sylvia Molina Orlando. Wow, thank you so much, Kuya Sonny. And I'm watching from Italy. Get well soon po. Nice to see you, attorney. Watching from PRUK. Yeah, thanks, Sylvia. I hope you're well, no? And you're enjoying Italy. I don't know what the weather is at the moment in Italy. I hope you're doing well. Wow, we're so international tonight, huh? Elaine Lagman Schmidt. Hello, watching from Germany. Whereabouts in Germany? Elaine, good evening. No, nakalimutan ko lang. Good evening in German. Miss Cantos, Lorraine Cantos, good evening po, everyone. Happy blessed Thursday. Tama ka, Miss Cantos. I hope you're well, ha? Miss Tigbao, thank you for joining. May Tigbao Vargas, good evening po. Sorry, I'm late. Wala pong problema. Happy Thursday. Happy St. Patrick's Day po sa lahat. Of course, it is St. Patrick's Day nga. No, yeah, absolutely. Happy St. Patrick's Day po sa lahat. Hi, May. No, don't be sorry. Thanks for joining us, no? This from Reed Nax. Greetings po sa lahat ng viewers and listeners. Hello, Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday po. Keep safe. Ikaw nga din, no? Reed, it's hope you're well. No? Miss Giling. The lovely Miss Giling. I love this family. They're so nice. They're such good people. M.M. Giling. Hello. Good evening po sa lahat. Happy Thursday, sir and ma'am. Yeah, no, sir is unfortunately sick. Si Sonny is quite unwell actually. No, it's he could barely speak. The poor man. Yeah, no, it's so hopefully I'm sure he will be fine for next week. Pero yung nga lang kailangan niya magpahinga ngayon. Get well soon, Sir Sonny. Tama ka, Mark. Yeah, Mark Bautista. No, it's it's going around. I think it's we have actually today someone off from the office. So hopefully hindi ako mahawa. No, it's but yeah, it happens. No. Good evening, folks. Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Very tiring day for me, but I shouldn't miss watching. Shouldn't miss watching your show from East London. Si Cherry Bell Latore Igarta. Cherry Bell, you're so kind. Oh, tiring day. Why? So you've probably been working throughout, no? So Geraldine Cabalteja. Hi, Attorney Lira. Have a lovely evening, and to all who are watching. Tama ka, Geraldine. To you too. Hope everyone has a lovely evening. Wow, we are so we're so international, no? Tonight. So evening from Switzerland. Last Monday pa po, Sahara San Apektado, España at France, galing Morocco, Teresita Ortman. Hi, Teresita. Evening from Switzerland. My gosh. Noel San Diego. Hello po, Attorney Lira. Hope everyone. Hi, Noel. Kamusta? Where are you watching from, huh? I love this nickname. Chismosang Kapitbahay. We've all had that, huh? Chismosang Kapitbahay. Get well soon, Sir Sonny. Tama ka. I might steal your nickname, huh? Chismosang Kapitbahay. So Cherry Bell says, ask ko lang po about unmarried partner visa. Ano pong mga strong reasons to get approved for future application? How long should relationship be before applying? I heard that one still married in the Philippines and here already cannot be married here until annulled status of marriage in the Philippines. Would like to know more about this for my brother to come in the future. Salamat ng marami. God bless and more power. Cherry Bell, actually, it's a very good question. And it has a number of points. Nga, direct, pwede pakita mo natin uli yung question ni Cherry Bell, no? It has a number of quite complex points actually. So, yung unmarried partner visa po, no? Usually need to be able to show 2 years living together living together. It doesn't have to be in the UK, but it could also be sa Pinas nga. But it's 2 years pong kailangan yung pakita. Kung hindi nga kayo nagsasama pa ng 2 years, then a possibility, kung nandun nga kayo sa Pinas, to come in as a fiancé. Now, so 2 years usually under the unmarried partner route. But that may be a problem kung nandun nga sa Pinas yung kapatid mo. Now, you heard, sabi mo doon, that if one's still married in the Philippines and here already, and one here, no, and then one can't be married here. So, I misread that. I heard that if one is still married in the Philippines, then you can't be married here until annulled status of marriage in the Philippines. That's not actually correct, Cheribel, not entirely, huh? So it's really a question. Alam ko it's conflicting jurisdiction. So kung nandito ka na nakatira, no, and you're what's called habitually resident or indeed even domiciled in the United Kingdom, kahit kasal ka nga sa atin, the UK courts will have jurisdiction to hear, say, divorce proceedings. So in some cases, you can actually petition for a divorce in the United Kingdom. But of course, hindi po yung annulment, ha? So sa atin, if you want to remarry, say in the Philippines, absolutely kailangan yung annulment. But what you could do, and certainly what I've seen some clients nga do is, nandito nga yung tao, they petition for divorce nga in the United Kingdom. Yung nga lang yung isang yung asawa nyo nga nandun sa Pinas, the divorce will be valid in the United Kingdom. Now, kung gusto nyo magpakasal sa ibang tao, and the person you want to bring into the country is, say, in the Philippines. Of course, hindi kayo pwedeng kasal nga sa atin. Kasal pa rin kayo, no? Without the annulment. So what sometimes happens is you actually make an application for a fiancé visa. As long as, of course, yung partner yung nasa atin, they are free to marry. So basically, yung tao, yung partner nyo sa atin, yung fiancé nyo, papasok nga dito. Pagka nandito na siya, then you marry in the United Kingdom. That is despite the fact that that you have not yet obtained an annulment nga sa atin, because the UK jurisdiction would apply to you. And if you make an application nga at for a spouse or for a fiancé visa to come into the United Kingdom, of course the British Embassy will need to apply British law, and they would need to recognize nga the divorce of the partner in the United Kingdom. So the quick answer to your question is yes, it's still a possibility, Cheribel, no? Kahit nga kasal yung taong nandito, but I'm assuming na yung kapatid mo sa atin single nga siya. So it's a possibility, absolutely. But before doing anything, it's one of those things that because of the jurisdiction issue nga, you should seek legal advice. Because of course, ang ayaw niyong mangyari is you make an application, then the application is refused, and then kasuhan pa nga siya on the basis of the fact that he's actually still, or they're still actually married in the Philippines, and so you don't want to get that wrong. So Cheribel, take advice, or sabihin mo sa kapatid mo, must take advice. Edgar, I was just going to say actually, hindi siya she's not been able to join us, but he has now. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat po, lalo na Attorney Elsie. Get well soon, Sonny. Tama. Nalate ako kasi, plumber ako tonight. Anong nangyari? This man is so talented, no? Edgar. So he plays, I don't know, 20 instruments. And tonight, he's been a plumber. I mean, are you actually I assume that's not that's just one of your many talents, and it's not one of your normal jobs, Edgar. So hopefully tapos na nga, and that you've been able to plug whatever needed to be plugged. Yeah, no. Mary Rose Fronda, get well soon, Sir Sonny. Tama ka. Look, Sonny really is he sounded so unwell nga today. He could barely speak, the poor man. I could barely understand him actually. So it's so hopefully soon, no? No, tama ka, Teresita Ortman. Get well soon, Sir Sonny. Good evening, Attorney Lira. Hi, Teresita. Are you well? Tama. So Rachel says, Rachel Catuisa Bautista, she says, get well soon, Sir Sonny. God bless and keep safe. Yeah. Yeah, no, tama ka. But look, so it's been a lovely, lovely, lovely evening for me. It's always look. It's always nerve-wracking kung wala nga si Sonny, and I so miss his company. But fortunately, we have Direct Pau, and so she is clearly nga in charge. Hi Ferrer, Madge Ferrer, hi Madge, kamusta po? So it's yeah, it's so I miss Sonny, and I'm sure you all miss Sonny nga, and we wish him well. But I've enjoyed tonight. I really, really have. It's always a treat nga for me to be with you. At saka today it's been international. Maraming bumabati nga sa atin, and it's always a privilege, no? I know I always say it, but it is. But I always find it a treat, no, to be with you. Happy Thursday. Ito rin sa akin, happy Thursday. But hopefully, next Thursday kasama nga natin si Sonny, and that you all keep well and you keep safe, no? Ingat nga kayo. I know that COVID is hopefully backing off, but it's still not easy nga, no? So here it's Ferrer. Madge, you look the same. 20 years. I wasn't going to say anything, Madge, but yeah, so you look that I know you, but yeah, you look the same. 20 years nakilala, office in Brentford. Madge, I tell you what, you're a blast from the past, no? Tama ka, 20 years na nga in Brentford. Wow. I've actually been in practice. I was working this out because actually for the office insurance purposes, no? I was working out how long I've been qualified now as a solicitor. And I tell you, I've been now practicing for over 30 years. Can you believe it, mga kababayan, no? 30 years, no? Some of you may have only been born, no? After I qualified, but yeah, 30 years na po. So 20 years, tama ka, Madge. It was actually absolutely 20 years ago in Brentford. Edgar Dwight, I just replaced the tap on my bathroom, and I remembered your show. Boom! I panicked. Oh, Edgar, this man is so lovely. He replaced the tap on his bathroom. No, my gosh, I can't even cook pureed apple, huh? And as I said earlier on, I completely forgot about it. Nearly set my kitchen on fire. Edgar is he's like actually they're very similar. Edgar and Oliver, so talented. No, you can do pretty much anything. I'm so impressed. But yeah, I hope that worked. No, Edgar. So hopefully. You don't have a leak. I mean, I tell you what, water leak can be a pain. But anyway, so on a better note, Miss Rafael, so Emmeline Rafael, Attorney Lira, is it okay to call you after the show? Well, the problem is we're tawagan mo ako bukas, Emmeline, no? I'll give you my number, yeah? Because after the show, anong oras na ngayon? Alas 9 na, no? Mag-alas 9 na nga. So it's probably a bit too late. But call me absolutely tomorrow sa opisina nga. I'll give you my number. So if you give me if you want, you can also email me in advance. Sabi mo sa akin, ang oras ka tatawag. O, kung gusto mo, just email me your number, Emmeline. I mean, you are one of our regulars, absolute regulars nga in the show. So it would be my honor to call you, no? So email me your number. So these are so contact details ko po ito, no? Ito. So Emmeline or anyone else, kung gusto niyo email me, by all means, kabatbat@douglas-simon.com, no? Lagay niyo nga lang po dun sa subject, no, Immigration Corner. And I will call you back, yeah? By all means, call me. Emmeline, kung gusto mo akong tawagan, yan number ko, 0203-375-0555, no? So again, 3750555. So call me tomorrow. As usual, I have a hearing, unfortunately or fortunately, in the morning. So I should be available though from about 12 o'clock. It should be quite a short hearing nga lang. Otherwise, email me, Emmeline, and I'm more than happy, of course, to call you back. So, galing po to kay Madge. Saying that my youngest son is 28. My gosh, 28! Ang batang-bata. He was 3 years old when you helped me. So more than 20 years. Oh, well done. Nice to see you, even only on my mobile phone. Oh, Madge, you are so lovely. Wow, I can't believe it. 28 na siya. I have been in practice longer than he's been living. My gosh, ang tanda ko na, no? But there you go. No, I'm pleased to have been hopefully of service to you, Madge. 28 years old na siya. Wow, astonishing. Are you still where are you now? I mean, are you still in London, ba? Brentford was a long time ago. We moved to Richmond for about I think 10 years na kami sa Richmond, no? So come see us in Richmond, ha? If you email me, I'll email yung address namin. So, come say hello. Nice of you to tune in, though. So, ito pong email ko, no? So, kabatbat@douglas-simon.com o 203-375-0245 pong number namin. So, anyway, so it's been an absolute pleasure and really couldn't have done today absolutely no way at all without Direct Pao. Paula is a talent, no? Salamat, Paula. You don't see her, but in the background, she runs the show. And of course, to Sonny, get well soon, huh? I will not send you chicken soup because anything made by me will probably kill you. So, but hopefully you're back by next Thursday. So but it's been a pleasure, no? It truly has, and I wish you all good night. So to you and yours from me and Direct Pao, thank you for watching and see you next Thursday. Sige po, bye.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay na minsan kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.